Oh, welcome everyone to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. I'm gonna try and keep an eye on people trying to come in. You know what, Kristen? I'm gonna make you a co-host, and that way you might catch them before me. So let people in if they want to come in. Um, Welcome. So last week you guys loved that pectoral stuff, and then I also had another video. Oh, the homework on the armpit for Vogue. So if you guys haven't seen that, check that out. That's a good one too. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's look at it real quick. Hold on. It's easy, 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 and you would be surprised how much it helps. So this is going to kind of fit in with what we're talking about. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go to my public site. Most of you are already on it. Okay. So this is my public site, Winning Your Horse's Heart. Okay. So if you're not on here, get on here for sure. Another thing I want to point out really quick, if you guys ever want to search for something, just go right here to those three dots and then go down to this search page. Okay, search this page and put in whatever you want to look for. Okay. So for example, someone messaged me that she really needs to loosen the tail up, her horse's tail. Okay, so I just typed in tail. Here's one. Okay, here's one video on a tail, and then here's another clamp tail. That's tension. How do you get rid of it? Here you go. There's some tips. Okay, so getting tension out of a tail. Here's another one. Okay, when the tail feels like a rail. So this is my old gelding tanner. See how nice and relaxed that is? That's a nice soft tail. If you do Georgia's, it like goes straight and then there's like a little pointy end because their tail's tight a lot. Okay. So there's my daughter, like who knows how many years ago. Oh, that was only last year. Man, she's grown. Okay. But just go to that. Here's another one on loosening up tails. So I feel like I have a lot on, oh, I should talk about this too. I have a lot on pretty much most areas of the body. So if there's a particular area that you want to look into, go ahead and do that. FYI with this, if you guys have been around for a while, Chester had that like itchy tail that they get kind of in the springtime. Do you know what I mean? Where they kind of rub their tail off. It gets all like bushy and like scratchy and dry. So this formula I wanted to test out on him because he's a newer horse to me. And so I made this up, but I did not have apple cider vinegar, so I used red wine vinegar instead. It didn't work. Don't do that. Apple cider vinegar is important. Okay, that was one test that I did. So when I used the red wine vinegar, it didn't work well. And so it didn't work at all. And so then I switched out the apple cider vinegar and it worked in like 2 weeks. And I only sprayed it on his tail maybe 4 or 5 times. So there's something about the pH that it helps a lot. So this is on my Facebook. If your horse gets that itchy tail, and I don't do the lavender, I don't care. I don't care if it smells good. So yeah, I just use these three. Okay. Works really well for, oh, here's another one on tail. Okay. Here's another one on tail. Okay. So I think I've beat that into the ground now. So if you want to find a video on something, go ahead and go to the search bar, which is underneath these three dots on the page. Okay. Whoops. It's not what I wanted. Okay. So let's go to um let's go to the chest. Oh, this one. So here's some other things that you can try. Okay. So this is Vogue. This is kind of right in here, this area. You're going to stick your hand behind, look at her face, isn't she cute? You're going to stick your hand behind the elbow. Okay, right behind that elbow. Stick your hand in and see if it goes. Look at her eyes. Obviously, with her, it's not a problem. Okay. So,
Can you step over here, please?
Oh, thank you. And then that foot too would be awesome. Yep. So here's a photo of it. You should be able to stick your hand back there. Okay. Now, some people, some horses, this horse is pretty tall and lean. Okay, she's tall and lean. Um, she is pretty easy to stick your hand back there. Okay. So, not all horses are going to be that easy, but check that video out. You guys can do that this week also. But when the, okay, so there's pectorals that get tight that restrict range of motion. Okay. There's the serrate that gets tight that restricts range of motion forward. There's the biceps. Okay. There's the scapula. All right. So we talked last week about the biceps. No, we talked last week about the pectorals and we broke down all the pectorals. Now, the main one that we are talking about this week or last week was the transverse. So the transverse are the ones that go across here. So it goes to the sternum, goes straight across and attaches to the foreleg. Okay. And when they contract, it brings their chest like this. Okay. Now, when those get too tight, what you can find is that instead of their legs coming out of their body like this, they come out and their feet are closer together. So it's like a V shape. We actually have a couple photos of that, so it's going to be fun. Okay, we're going to take a look at that. Hi, Leanne. Glad you're back. Glad you're back. We got to see photos at some point. Okay, so there's your pectoral when your pectorals are tight. So with Chester, and he was my little guinea pig, Chester has the smallest chest. It's like this big, I swear, it's so small. So I was working on his pectorals, which are always kind of tight. They shake a little bit, they trigger a little bit. He's sensitive. He has a very narrow heart girth. Okay, so you know where the girth goes. Some horses are like, almost a barrel, right? And then some horses, he's kind of like a camel. I don't know if you guys have ever been around camels, but they have like it comes to like a point and there's a pedestal on their little chest there. So his is very narrow. It's something I have to be careful with him with girths because I can't cinch a girth down super tight on him because it's just going to be putting pressure on his sternum. Okay. And it's like loose on the sides and then really tight, pulling the saddle down onto that point, that really narrow point of heart girth. So I had to get a fancy girth for him. He's got like the crappiest, cheapest saddle on. I swear it's so disgusting, but it's the only small one I have that'll fit him. And then I have this really expensive girth on him. It's really funny. I mean, the saddle's like Frankenstein together. I got all different parts on it and stuff. But he's more comfortable because it fits him. And then that heart girth, the special girth for him is important. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that can make those pectorals tight, and then the different ways to loosen them up. Okay, so you can one, rub them. Okay. Two, you pick the leg up and you reach in and you grab that little pork loin. That's the transverse pectoral, and you squeeze it. It's about this big on most horses. Yeah, about this big. Feels like a pork loin. On Chester, it's about this big. So little tiny baby pork loin. And then on some horses, it's like this big. Okay. And I have big hands, so change your scale accordingly. Okay. So we reach up. And then also, just a mental note, if you reach up into that pork loin and you're feeling it and you feel a little grape, it's normally the size of a grape. Sometimes, I'll show you, Nancy. Sometimes it's more of a golf ball. That's when it's not good. That's when you should probably be able to tell, based off multiple things, that the pectorals are tight. So if you can hold that, if you have the horse's leg in your hand and you can slide your hand up into the armpit And you can feel that pork loin. You feel like a little grape in there. You're just going to squeeze that little grape until it goes away. And then you're going to rub and scratch. Okay. So let's take a little bit of time and look at the awesome photos that were sent. Okay. All right. Let's see how long it takes me to find it. Okay. Boop, boop. Hey, guys. Okay, so let's find, this was an awesome video too, by the way, you guys. So exciting. Um, and then if you guys, here we go. If you guys want more, you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch last week's Zoom call. It's on my YouTube page at Winning Your Horse's Heart on YouTube. It'll say here for the horses and then the date. Okay, so you can watch that episode. And then if you're in my coaching community, I posted both of those videos on there, so you can watch those too. Okay? So let's take a look at the 90 pictures that were sent. No, I don't think there's 90, but there's close. Okay? So we'll go through them one at a time and we'll just look at them. There's some really cool things here. I have to make this smaller though. It's so obnoxiously big. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see here. So, Kristen, your little nugget has a pretty, it wasn't this one, I don't think. It was the other one. So this is Pac-Man. Yeah, so he's a bit narrow and he looks a bit more narrow than he should be, doesn't he? Okay. So he doesn't go in at a V, but you can kind of tell that the legs, if they were about 2 inches further apart, it would look more balanced. Okay. So, and then I also see a little bit of kind of towing out here. So I'm not going to get into um, how horses are built. Okay. So if they're built towed out, you can't do anything about that. I'm only going to talk about what I see and the places that I would go to check when I see it. Okay. So this might be how he's built. I don't know. It might be. So there's not too much that you can do about how they're built. It's like, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to your own bodies, but like when I'm working out, I'm always trying to get my body to be equal. And so I will look in the mirror when I'm doing stuff, and I do funny stuff, man. Like I do weird stuff. I have one leg that's longer than the other, okay? I got one shoulder that likes to roll forward. I have another one that's pointy, okay? So we can't address, we can, it's not that we can't address those things, but you can only improve them so much. All right. So based off this chest, this looks pretty good to me. It doesn't, there's nothing that's sticking out to me where anything looks abnormally tight. Okay, these look pretty equal. So this is another thing that I'm going to look at is this, are these two equal? So he has kind of a high pitch there for the pectoral. So is it equal on both sides? If you have one that's flat and then one that swoops down, then that's something I'm going to want to take a look at. But this one looks pretty equal. What I would do, Kristen, is I would squeeze right here. This is the insertion point. I would squeeze right there and see if there's like kind of grainy tissue. And if there is, that needs to be loosened up. Okay, so that's just something I'm going to want to try on him. Okay. The other thing with when the toes kind of face out, what I want to look at is the elbow. Is the elbow pulling the foot in that direction? Okay, so that video for Vogue, I want you to watch that and try that on Pac-Man and see if there is a restriction there. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing with him. And then I want you to kind of do the leg range of motion. I want you to pick this leg up and I want you to squeeze this transverse pectoral in here and see what you find. And then I want you to do an after photo. Now, is it going to change? I don't know. I don't know. Another thing I want to say before we get too deep into this is you can't tell the full story on a picture, you guys. Everyone knows that. You can't tell the full picture. I could be way off on some of this stuff. Some of the stuff that I say today might not be the case. All I want you to do is go check, do some work. You're not going to hurt anything. Do some work, see if it improves. If it does, awesome. And we've already seen some of that. Stephanie had some really cool results. If it doesn't improve, okay, check mark, did it. Okay. So I think this horse's stance could get a smidge wider, and I'd like to see those legs straighten out a little bit. So it's making me think, can you guys see me? I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Hold on. I gotta find where I'm at here. Okay. Oh, okay, you can. Okay. So I want straight. If the elbows, do you guys see that? You can do that yourself too. You can hold your arm straight. Now pull your elbows in. It makes your hands kind of flare up, okay? If you pull your elbows in. So I want to go back here and see if this horse is tight back here. And I want to bring that elbow out. Okay? So the way I would do that is I'd watch that Vogue video and I'd slide my hand in there and I'd kind of grab around his elbow and see what's going on. Okay? Give that a try. All right, let's take a look at the next photo here. That was Pac-Man. Oh my gosh, Sandra, this horse is so cute. Oh, he is so cute. So this is Stefan. Stefan, he's so cute. Okay, look at his little face. And she said he's a little Arabian. Little itty bitty, yeah, they do. They have little tiny baby pectorals. Not all of them. And he's been in a lot of work. Okay. So, this looks pretty good. He's not quite standing straight, so that's something I'm gonna take into account. Do you see how this is even? I like that. That's an even pitch. And you can see that Pac-Man's was much more, up and down. Okay. So he's pretty even. That's good. Nothing looks like it's too tight in here. I would probably massage this little area here and see what you get. Get that to loosen up. So biceps maybe are a little tight right in here. Right in here. And then if he were always to stand with this leg forward, I would check this bicep. Okay, but he was probably just standing like that. So I'm not super concerned. And then I know that you did a follow-up with him. Yes, he's cute. He knows it too. Okay, after working on Stefan this weekend, much better, I think. Well, you think right, for sure. Okay, look at that. That's beautiful. He's standing more square in this one. So was that a fluke or is that for real? I don't know. But either way, this is what you want. Okay, you want him standing square, so that's awesome. This looks nice, and this looks looser right here. Okay, these forelegs look really beautiful. Okay. So I'm kind of curious if we were to rub up in here a little bit, if this is going to even out. So maybe try that next. This is pretty fun though. This side right here looks like it's got more of a crease. Just see what you get. Looks excellent though. I love that. Okay. He's cute too. So cute. Tessa, we all know Tessa's little mare, she cute. Oh, this one is excellent. Cinder. This is Wanda's horse. So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Look at how steep that is and then straight across. Okay. So I would want to get in there and find out why. Okay. Wanda, if you're on here, go ahead and unmute. So what side is tight? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be this one that it pulls straight across, or it could be this one. I think it's this one. Okay.
I
So
would have
I
said
would, yep, go ahead.
I would have said the right side just because he is super heavily muscled in the front end and he, typically he, V's up like you want, but this is how he is a good deal of the time. And he stands square when he eats. They have a level
Oh, that's
place to
interesting.
eat. I don't know. This is just his thing, though. And like I said in my note there, I reached up in there. I didn't feel any mass. He's not a big fan of having that massage and he tends to back. So I've just been backing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to the end of the alleyway and he's like, well, okay. So I'm not sure what it is, but that's interesting that you think he's tight on the left and I think he's
Mm-hmm.
tight on the right. So
Yeah. And you should be able to feel. So, have you run his fronts through a full range of motion?
mhm.
Are they
Yeah,
equal?
yeah, there's nothing remarkable there. He's super athletic, so he's really fluid when you handle different parts of his body. There's just not much restriction in him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't find anything interesting.
Okay. I want you to pick up this leg with
Okay.
your right hand and take your left hand and go in here and I want you to squeeze this section right here and see if you can get it to release off this bone a little bit.
Oh,
Give it a try.
so you think that is where it inserts into the humerus? Is that
Yeah.
what you're thinking? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll do it.
Yep. And it could go back, it could be the elbow again. Okay. So I kind of want to look around. That's why I was wondering about the range of motion. So feel free to do the range of motion for me also, and you can send me a quick video or you can take photos of what it looks like. But I feel like this leg, like I just want to get my hand up in there and just feel, I want to feel all the way around it, like all the way around the entire inside of that scapula. Oh, I just want to see how far I can go up. Like how far can I get my hand to go trace up this leg, you know?
Okay.
And can I get those to be a little more even? Because this one, this obviously you're not going to be able to trace up there too much,
Yeah.
but this one's it's way down here. So can I slide my hand up this leg, trace it up, push, 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 have him take his weight off of it so that he doesn't have weight on it. And just see have him stand square again because he's very square.
Yeah.
And then take another photo and see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, shoot me a message if you come into something weird. All right. Little man here. Here's Marin's 28-year-old. I'd love to help him broaden his stance. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this one is kind of an example of this horse looks broader at the chest, but the little tiny legs just come straight out from the inside. Okay, so that's going to be similar. Is Marin on here? That's going to be similar to what the advice I just gave to Wanda. Okay, well, first of all, rub all this, rub it all, rub, 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 rub. And then I'm going to work on the inside of this leg, kind of working my hand up in there. Okay, I want it to go up in there. I'm going to pick the leg up. I'm going to kind of do maybe some circles with it. So here's another thing you guys can do. If you do circles, if you pick the horse's leg up and have it bent like you're picking their hoof out, and you go to do a small circle, and I don't mean like, "Rah," you're not stirring a pot, but just do a small circle with it. Does the circle go like out, in, straight? Does it go, in no problem, but out it hits a point and then it goes straight instead of keep going out? So you want to be able to do a nice circle with that. I'd be curious to see if this horse could do that. Okay. So I'd probably focus on this area right here for this horse. Very, very um, high pitch on this one. Okay. And then also rub the inside of these legs. Inside. Nice straight legs though, aren't they? Okay. So I kind of want to go up in here and see if these legs can relax a little bit. And then this would be one where I would pick up the foot. I would take it out to here. I would see if I could get them to kind of stand with a wider stance just for the fun of it and see if that loosens up a bit. Okay. Play around a little bit with that. See what happens. 28 years old. Cute. Lila. Okay. Her stance not usually this narrow, but her right leg has been turning out at rest. Her pec's always tight. Two deep digital flexor injuries, one back and one front. Just started a trial of Presend. Presend? I don't know how to say that. Okay. Um, Carol, what's her breed again?
She
She's
is a quarter pony. Hmm.
okay. Yep. That fits. Okay. So, and she's kind of sensitive to touch, isn't she?
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's still I still think about that because you sh and I know that you've done all this, but I always want to try to figure out what they can tolerate, and then if you can get them to tolerate something, does that open the door? So what does she tolerate the best? What massage stroke?
She is a very bitey pony. She tolerates, I have a wonderful massage therapist come every 6 weeks to work on her too. And she does, she kind of does this slow pressing in.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? It's just she's very, very slow.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of like rubbing or slapping or, scratch. It's more just slow pressing, and she tolerates that much better than what I do.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wondering if the percent is pergolide for Cushing's. I'm
Okay.
just can't get blood work from her. Um, she's too proactive at protecting herself. Um,
Oh,
so I'm wondering if you know, if that may have effect on her sensitivity to touch.
yeah, you never know until you stop something. You know what I mean? Until
Right?
you actually like test it out. So in this case then, because I don't see anything incredibly blaring other than it's a little bit narrow for her body, and because you just said she tolerates the pressing more, I would focus on leg range of motion.
Okay.
And I would pick this leg up and I would bring it forward because leg range of motion, you don't need to do massage strokes. You could really just be very intentional about the muscle that you want to release and not put that leg down or kind of not that let them buffalo you. And just wait for them to mentally relax it themselves so they have to do the work and you don't have to do the work other than hold the leg. Okay.
Yep.
So I would pick this front leg up to a 90 degrees coming forward. You're standing in front, and I
Mm-hmm.
would just wait there until she actually relaxes. Okay. And then I might bring the leg down a little. I did this with Chester today. I should have videotaped it. Then bring the leg down a little bit and maybe move the knee outward. Okay. So bring the knee over here a little bit and then see if, because that's going to be intentional to releasing this area right here.
Okay.
Right. And then bring the leg down a little bit more. So maybe you're going to take this little foot here and eventually she's going to end up have that one foot out here, a slightly forward. Doesn't need to be forward. It could be straight out, but I think that's kind of weird on their joints. Okay.
Right.
So I'd put it over here and then just wait for her. And I mean, I would not be able to stop myself from putting my hand up in there, just because I want to feel what's going on. But I wouldn't have to do anything. I could just put my hand there just to feel it. Okay.
Yep.
And then give her that leg back off about 4 or 5 feet. Take a breath, turn around, think about your grocery list. Don't do anything and wait for that to have effect. And it might be 3 minutes. And then do the same thing on the other leg.
Okay.
And then same thing, you're going to take this leg, this foot, and you're going to go back here and slightly out. Now, when I'm going out to the side, I have my hand above the knee. I do
Okay.
not guide the leg back from the fetlock. I always guide it back from above the knee because I don't want any weird tension on the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So my hand is up here. Now I'll have another hand down here if I want, but the pressure, me asking the leg to come out is going to be my hand above the knee.
Okay.
Give it a try. I like how square she's standing, so, you know, see how that goes. I want to work on her, so you should fly her out here, or you should fly me back there, and I'm gonna work on her.
Oh, that would
I'm
be
gonna
awesome.
make her love it. I'm gonna make her love it.
That would be so awesome.
That'd be fun. I mean, because it would drive me nuts if I couldn't get her to like it. To be honest with you, it would. So I'd be pulling some tricks out of the bag for you, I tell you. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Give that a try on her. Oh, Kate, this horse is beautiful. Kate, are you here? I love this horse. So cute. Okay, Kate MC. This is why he has like no chest. Missed all the things because time zones. Oh, okay. Who knows? She might be in. I was just talking to somebody today and they were in Scotland or I can't remember, but they were like, yeah, it's 2 o'clock when you're on here. Okay, so he's 5 years old. That's fantastic because you got a lot of time with him. He crosses his front a lot, but doesn't fall over. Physio said he was strange. We're all they're all strange in one way or another. Look how cute this little horse's face is, though. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for this horse, I would definitely rub do you see how these kind of stick out? They kind of look a little swollen right there. Okay, so I would definitely rub those. If they don't like the rubbing, you guys, slap. Slap. If they don't like the rubbing or slapping, you can press. It's just going to take you a lot longer. A lot of times the slapping will do it though. Okay, so I would rub this area and then slap it. Okay. I also see a little bit of kind of tightness here. So I would follow it down the leg. So I would work on this inside of the leg. Kind of take your hand up and squeeze this area here and just see what it does. Okay, squeeze that area. I don't know if Kate has my online clinic, but again, the leg range of motion for this horse would expose everything. Okay, so he's young, crosses. I've seen a lot of horses that cross their legs over. It's like they're kind of trying to get relief. Okay. So I've seen that a fair amount. They'll do it with the fronts and the backs. Okay, so I would want to pick up this leg and this leg, but I feel like when I pick this leg up, it's going to go probably midline. Because look at how wide the hinds are, you guys. Normally, fronts and hinds line up. So he's got, 4 inches and he's got 2 inches here. So that's an inch on each side, and that looks about right. I mean, his knees look a little too close together, but if there was another 2 inches right here, it'd be great. And then it would match up here, wouldn't it? Okay. So I would want to pick up this leg and I would probably focus on right here down to the knee on the inside. And I have a funny feeling this is also tight here on him, right up here in the chest. Okay, look at his little face. He wants that massage, doesn't he? He's cute. He wants a nice massage. Whoops. Okay, so that's what I would do for him. This person was saying that they did, this was just from putting a proper saddle on, which is fantastic. I mean, we talk about saddle fit, obviously is an issue. So how far apart was this? 8 months. Okay. So this was an 8 month improvement. Definitely a lot more development, right? Looks pretty
Huh?
good. This can
Not a
still
lot
get
so
looser
far.
though, right? These lines can get
Except your brakes
softer,
are kind of really touchy.
right? So the sternum
The first
can
time I put the
loosen up a
brakes on
bit
at the
too,
stop sign, I was like, whoa,
right?
they actually work.
So I would, I want this line here to be just a little bit softer. And I think we saw a couple other photos like that too. And then also, do you see how this line over here is harder than this line over here? So I would probably work on this shoulder a little bit more. Okay. That's a nice looking little Arab there though. I'm assuming it's an Arab because it's a 50-mile endurance horse. Okay, this is what, I mean, this is like Chester filled out. I wish Chester was that filled out. Okay. So, that's an improvement, and that improvement was done by having a proper saddle. So that's good. And then obviously a lot of work because they're running all over the place. Okay. Oh yeah, Cairo. This is a hilarious photo. It says, "This is the best photo I found of my girl. She was getting acupuncture done for the first time, so she's a bit tense. She is perfectly square though. This is the cutest photo because look at her ears, you guys. Her ears are like, I don't mind this acupuncture. They're pretty relaxed, okay? So I can't, let me see if I can actually get it closer. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So this side over here looks tighter, doesn't it? Right? Right there, that little groove. Okay. This looks a little bit tight here. The skin's pulled tight, right? Um, the insertion points look a little bit different on the inside of this leg because that's a little tighter right there, that little line. Can you guys see that? Okay. So I would want to rub this entire chest here. And probably percussion is what's going to loosen it up. Now, I don't think her stance is going to get any wider. She's straight. She's good. That looks nice. But I'd like to loosen this skin up a bit. And what do I always say I want horses to look like? Fluffy. I want them fluffy, like pillows. Okay? So this is not a pillow. This is not fluffy. But her stance is nice. You know, she looks good. She probably has a fair amount of tension in the legs. Like this skin right here looks tight, doesn't it? So I'd want to loosen all that up and get that nice and relaxed. And I bet you could do it in one session. Easy peasy. You can tell she's being a good girl. Look at that intense mare stare. That's George's game face, looks just like this. Like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Let's lock in, as the kids are saying nowadays. Um, I would also want to loosen this forehead up. Can you guys see that? So look at how tight that is right there. And that V goes up and then it gets tight all the way to here. You guys see the bottom of those lines? They go right to here. So that's really easy to loosen up. Flat hand, warm it up, okay? Hold it for 30 seconds. Circles, warm it up. Fingertips, warm it up. Start moving that skin around. I bet this skin right here is really stuck. Okay? So warm that forehead up and see what she has to say about it. Okay? Whoops. Okay. Jessica. Look at that fluffy chest. That looks pretty darn good. Okay. Looks pretty fluffy, looks pretty equal. I would probably slide my hands up in there and see if there's a side that's tighter. Okay. The forelegs look nice and loose. Can you guys see the difference? I mean, obviously different horses are going to look different. And this horse is full hair. But do you see how the skin kind of looks loose on this horse's legs? And then when you compare it to the skin on this horse's legs? Okay. So I want loose skin. You'd be surprised how much it helps. I'd probably do some slaps on this chest and see if the horse enjoys it. But that looks pretty nice. Okay, this is my trainer. Remember we were talking about it? That's funny. Okay, Apollo, Arabian, and a lesson horse. Oh, that's a wide stance for an Arabian. Pretty darn good. It looks a little wider than his chest is, doesn't it? So his kind of looks like it's going out. Okay. So to me, what I would do is I would work on this area right here, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. His legs look nice and relaxed. I would check out this area in here on both sides and see which one feels, is this a Polish Arab? Because he's pretty stout. He's pretty stout for an Arab. Um, Probably loosen this up right in here, do some slaps, see what he has to say. I'm curious what his range of motion would feel like if it would expose that this is okay. So let me talk about it. If if the legs okay, if the legs go out like his kind of were, is it because he's just kind of built like that, or is it because these scapulas up higher are pulled in, and so it kind of makes the scapula go like that, and then the rest of it follows? Or is that just how he's built? So that's what I would want to know. Now, how would I find that out? So I want you to think through range of motion. If I want to know if the scapulas at the top are tight, what's going to tell you is one, you can pick up that leg and go to 90 degrees. Okay? So you can pick up the leg and go to 90 degrees. Okay, no problem. But when you start going down to the front, it's going to be tight up at the top of the scapula. Okay? So the 90 degrees from going up is going to tell you more about the elbow, the bicep, and the pectoral. But when you bring the leg forward and it starts to straighten out, that starts telling you about up higher. Okay. So if the foot is forward, okay, like this, and you're trying to get it to touch the ground and it can't quite get to the ground, that's the upper scapula. The rest of it's straight. If the rest of the leg is straight, you're good. If the knee won't straighten, that's your flexors. Okay. If this is going over everybody's head, I explain it in depth in the online clinic, and it's under leg range of motion. It's a whole thing. You get used to it once you start doing it more. Okay. So with that horse, I want to know about those scapulas at the top. I want to know if the scapulas at the top are making it so the scapula, it's too tight up here, so it's pulling the scapula in, but yet his chest is so wide, the rest of the scapula has to go out, and then it makes the legs kind of go out in that area. It's not severe. It's not severe. I'm not worried about it, but that's one thing I would want to check. Anybody have an idea on another way you could do it? This is advanced. Whoops. Go away.
Um,
Anybody have an idea on another way you could do it? Go ahead, Leanne.
well, you have that movement where you put the hand and run it down the inside of the scapula and see if there's some
Oh,
tightness in there. I don't know if
yeah,
that would help.
I
And then,
don't think that would help this situation. That would identify if the brachiocephalicus was tight, so that would loosen up if the leg wouldn't go back.
okay.
Yeah. So what would the opposite of what this horse is doing be?
I'm
If the
not,
horse is,
I'm wondering if you'd like tried to pull it across the midline
yeah,
of the leg, I
yeah,
think it would have restriction.
yeah, that's what I would do. So he's, and I'm not, listen, I'm picking on him, okay? Don't think I'm picking on him. He's fine. He's a beautiful horse. I love him. Okay. But if his leg, I'm over exaggerating, if his leg is going out, and I think it's because it's tight up here, what would happen if I brought the leg? Oh, look at my shoulder, you guys. Look at my shoulder, you guys. You see that? Okay. So if his shoulder, top of his scapula is pulled this way, and it's kind of collapsed against his body, forcing his scapula out that way. And I take his knee and I bring the leg slightly forward so it can cross over in the front. Watch my shoulder. Look at what's happening. Look at that. Okay. So that would probably be the easiest thing to test on this particular horse is if you pick that front leg up and you just real slowly, like I just did to myself, support the knee here and then slightly bring it forward and start bringing it across his body like this. Does it loosen up the scapula up there? And if it does, he might come out straighter and wider. A little bit. Okay, so that's just an idea for him. Apollo. Sam, I am. Look at this big old meatball. Okay, look at those cool cowlicks. Looks like a peacock. I like that. Sam is Susan, he's a draft, isn't he? Draft mix?
Yes, he's a Belgian Morgan.
Oh, cool. He fits those two perfectly. Okay, so he looks pretty darn nice. Nice and straight, obviously. This is the size of his chest, so we would not expect this width on anything other than a draft Morgan cross, right? Like we're not going to expect our horses to look like that. Although there was another one on here that was really wide too. Nice and even here. Okay. Now I kind of want to put my hand right here and just jiggle it back and forth and see if it moves. Because I'd like these to blend in a little bit more. You guys can see those lines there? Okay. I'd like that to blend in just a little bit more. See if it can. It might not. But I'd like to loosen some of this line up right here. But these are nice, equal, nice and straight lines, straight up the midline, right? Okay. So I just kind of want to rub around here and see if that loosens up that fascia at all. Maybe that skin. Okay. Looks good. Let me do an after photo of that after you rub this area. Would you,
Okay,
Susan?
can do.
Coop. That's a nice looking horse, isn't it? Straight. This looks pretty darn good. So it looks a little higher on this side, but those are some nice straight legs. Beautiful. I like it. This looks pretty soft and smooth and supple. I might just check in this area just a little bit, rub around, see if it moves. It all should move. Nice and straight, sternum. So another thing to look for, guys, is if the sternum, this line right here is kind of cattywampus, that's the sternum getting a little out of whack, okay? So this looks nice and soft, looks nice and soft. The skin and the hair look nice and soft here, very straight. It's got a nice standing super square. I like it. Okay. Looks good, Gail. Okay, Rooster. Oh yeah, Rooster was the one where I was like, Rooster. Okay, Rooster is very narrow. Very narrow. So Kristen, where are you? I'm gonna find you here. Hold on. There you are. Okay. This looks tight to me. Okay, so this looks tight to me. This looks tight. This looks tight. And see how deep and obvious that line is? I want all that to loosen up. Okay. So how would I start this? This would be a fair amount of work, I think. So I'd probably rub some circles here. And all this depends on if they tolerate it well. If they don't tolerate it well, I'm gonna change what I'm doing. I'm gonna rub some circles here and see if this skin and muscle moves here first. Because I want to start kind of on the outskirts and then work my way in. Okay. I'm gonna rub the inside of these legs because you can see this skin right here is pulled tight. And then it really kind of curves in right there, so that's tight. Now, is that muscle back there tight? I don't know. It kind of looks like it. So I'd want to check that out. I'd want to loosen all this up. So do you see how I'm not going straight in for this section right here? I'm kind of like, I'm going to work around here and then I'm going to check around here. And I kind of want to see where I get the big reactions. I'd like to loosen up this above the knee here also. You can see all those lines on him. Okay. And then I'm going to start scratching in here and pressing up and pressing around. I'm going to reach up in there and see what that tenderloin feels like. I bet you his is pretty big. Okay, it looks big. And I'm just going to squeeze around, see what's going on. I think I talked about this with Chester, is that sometimes if you stand on the side of them with your belly button facing them, you can loop your, hold on, I gotta find myself so I can make sure so you're standing next to their chest, like their legs gonna be going down here. You can loop your hands right here from the front and the back, and you can just, this one might be good for Lila too, Carol. Loop, and then just pull up and hold. And then I think I did that on Chester, and he was like not a super fan, but it worked. I would definitely do that on this horse because I want to know if this tissue here can move up and relax. I would like it to be a little flatter. Okay. So that's the plan for him, Kristen. Take some after photos for him because this stance on him is too narrow. Okay. That should be more than that. He's a big horse. This is a nice sized chest, so he needs to get those legs out. You could do range of motion too, but do range of motion last. No, I don't know. It's so hard. You know, I like to test things with range of motion to find out what it tells me. So maybe do range of motion first and see if he drags those legs midline, or if you can feel like it's tighter going midline. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do range of motion and then see what it says. Write it down and do front and back, going forward and back, because it might say different things. And then do all that work I just told you, and then do range of motion again, and then take another photo. Okay? That'll be fun. I expect good things. Okay. Petra. Petra. She's so cute. That's fluffy. Okay. So we have a little bit here. So what did I say about when their toes, when their kind of toes slightly go out? What area do I want to check? Why does it keep doing that? Hold on. There. Yep, elbows. Elbows. So I would check her elbow, Linda. Watch that video on Vogue and just see what it says. But this, I feel like this might be her build. But if you're going to see a change with the way that kind of stance like that, it's gonna be on the back side of the leg. It's not a pectoral thing. It's gonna be either the elbow or going down the back side of the leg or the inside of the back of the leg. Okay. And then what else? Yeah. I'd probably reach up into that armpit too and squeeze a bit. Just see. I don't think that's it though. And again, you might not see a difference. So take a photo after also, okay? Okay. Oh yeah, Stephanie's. This was good. Where's the video? Oh yeah. Hold on. There's a video which is cool.
I think the video was on the private page of her.
Oh, look. Can you guys see the difference in the little boob crack here? Yeah. Look at how much smoother that is in the very center. I think you put the video on here. I think it's just down further. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. Let's see. So this is wave walking before body work.
And I will add, Erin, that on that right front, behind her knees, she has a bone spur. And
Uh-huh.
so that tendon, that's kind of why she retired from reining because when she does lateral work, that tendon snaps and it's inoperable.
Oh,
So, yeah, so I always worry, it's like, is it that's flaring up? You know what I'm saying? But I think the
yeah.
body work helped tremendously.
Heck yeah, it helps. Okay, and then another thing, you guys look at right here on the pec. Watch that get tight as she draws back. Can everyone see that? See that? Right there. That's tight right there, Steph. But so she looks stiff and uncomfortable here. So let's look at the video after. It was so good. Whoa. What happened? Hold on. Lost it.
While you're finding that, I will tell you, I was so excited when you did this Zoom last week because when you would go to pick up that right front, she would kind of like lean back, and she was very hesitant to give her foot to you. And
Oh, really?
yes,
Okay.
and you know how you were talking, and when I listened to the playback last Sunday's, how you said, don't get upset with them when they don't pick up their leg. And so this last after that massage, I've been really rubbing on her chest all over. And today she thought about, and then she gave it right up to me, and we put it down really nicely. So I think I have to build that confidence that it's not going to hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
That
sure.
she's not protecting herself, but not to punish her if she is
Yeah.
hesitant to do it. So
Yep.
that was so I valued that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, where's the other one? Hold on. Before, where's the after video? I need to see the after video. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's the after. So she looked pretty stiff and choppy there walking, but look at this. Oh man, that's a big improvement, man. That is a big improvement, okay? And listen, she still looks a bit uncomfortable, okay? But the difference, and this is the difference that I saw, um, was, hold on, was the first video was like, uh, it was kind of like hit, 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 but it was short strided. It was like this. The second video was like swing a little hit, swing a little hit. There was just like a little bit more of this in the motion. Okay. And man, isn't that awesome? Just a little bit of improvement. How amazing is that? Just to let a horse feel just that much better. I love that. That's in one session. Imagine. That's so cool. That's really special. Now, again, I lost my freaking spot again. Hold on. Okay, I'm looking for it again.
Hey, Erin, I think it's because you opened it in a new tab. So if you go to,
Oh, thank you. Wow, I'm glad you're
you're
here.
welcome.
All right, here it is. Okay, here, share. Somebody's got to be in control here. Okay. Okay, so that was that one. I gotta go back up now. Here's Rose. There's Becky's. Okay, there's Jazz. Okay, Kathy was another example. Prince. Okay. Did we do Eva's? No. Okay, here. Eva's. Okay, so this we're gonna go late today, guys. This chest right here looks tight, doesn't it, guys? Doesn't that look like it's tight? So that's kind of what I would work on is just that part right there. That's either the ascending or descending, and I always get those messed up. Descending. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might be. But it's this whole plate right here. Okay, I bet you that can loosen up and look a lot softer. So very muscular horse, beautiful, 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 very equal. This is really impressive how equal this horse is. Equal, equal, beautiful, beautiful. I just want it looser. That's all. I just want it looser. Okay. So I just kind of rub this whole area, do some slaps, do some pounds. I think that's going to make it look a lot better. So Eva, when you watch the recording of this, slap, rub, pound, jiggle, and then take a after photo. I bet this skin is going to look a lot looser. Okay. All right, Prince. Okay. So that's a nice big horse too. I like big horses, you guys, because I'm big. So if they're big, I'm like, yay. Um, this little line right here, I'd like to see that loosen up a little bit. The legs look pretty darn good. I bet you they could straighten out just a tiny bit. Because look at how far out, like, look how big this chest is. This is big. Okay. And the legs are slightly going in at an inward direction a little bit. So I bet you that's pectoral. Okay. And here's a great example of you're not going to look at this horse and go, wow, those pectorals are tight. You're going to look at that horse and go, that's a nice looking horse. Big chest, da 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 da. but I want to loosen this up a little bit in here and then get that stance kind of out to match it a little bit more. I mean, if you were to draw a line from the center of this leg straight down, you're not, you're off a bit. So I want to see if those legs straighten out. I bet they will. And I bet it'd be pretty easy. Okay. Prince. Kathy.
Erin, I think you had missed a couple.
Okay.
Um,
Let me go back.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's look at Kathy's horse here. So here's another example of the stance at the bottom seems wider than the stance at the top, right? So again, I'm wondering if the scapulas up at the top are tight, or it could be the deltoid, but I don't think so. I don't think the deltoid has enough strength to actually influence the stance of a horse. And I could be wrong, but I don't think that the deltoid itself, that single muscle would change the stance. It would change the way that the leg comes forward, but I don't think it would change the stance. But the muscles that attach the top of the scapula to the body would, because that's what they do. Okay. So I would go up to the top of the body, up to the top of the scapulas, and I would work those. And maybe a little of the serrate. Let me show you equine. Oops. Serrate, serratus ventralis, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. This one right here. Okay, so this serrate is a fan shape. It goes underneath the scapula and it holds the scapula on the body. Okay, did I just ruin it by clicking on that? Okay, so if you take this scapula off, you'll still see serrate underneath there. And I'll be honest with you, and then here's like another kind of a cool picture of it. Okay. So, I think this is a little dramatic. I don't think it goes back that far, to be honest with you. I think it normally just pops out like right here because you can see it. You can see the serrate. It's normally in a triangle shape right here on the back of their scapula, and then it goes all the way up here. Okay. And it's underneath the scapula. Can you guys see that? So it holds that scapula on the body. So when this muscle, yeah, I don't like that picture anymore because it doesn't go back that far. But yeah, it kind of makes it look like it does here too. But if you think about, yeah, this one's actually kind of cool. So if you think about how much skin, the skin is going to go here, right? And then you're going to have that little triangle sticking out from behind the scapula. And you can see that on a lot of horses. I work on a lot of dressage horses, and when they're going through certain levels, this muscle gets really tight. And it also comes up forward here. So yeah, like right here. So the skin would go down here, their big old shoulder, right? And then this little triangle would be sticking out. Okay. So kind of like this. It doesn't normally go down that far, to be honest with you, though. It's up higher. So this is why I say, these drawings are cool, but you have to like look at the difference between this one. Oh, that's a dog. Never mind. You know, you have to adjust to whatever horse you're working on. So you have to kind of be able to identify. Okay. Let's see, which tab do I need to go to? Okay, so that was this one. So I would want to work up higher and see what the upper scapula of this horse has to say. And then again, with this one, I would take this leg 90 degrees forward and then slightly stretch it across midline forward and see if it helps. But that's a nice wide stance. So it's not the pectorals. Okay. All right, let's go back up. Hold on. Let's see who I missed here. We did that one. Phoebe. Did we do her? Phoebe was
No.
that big old horse. Look at the chest on this horse. Yowza. I like it. I like it a lot. So I want to loosen this up. So you can see all these lines, right? Boop, 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 boop. But look at this horse is super equal. Look at equal, 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 line, equal. I mean, that's like a painting. That's pretty. Okay. Look how muscular this horse is. This is wild. So really nice. I just want to get those to loosen up a bit and look more like a pillow. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Look at that chest though. What breed is that? What breed is this horse?
Quarter horse.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yep,
That's a
all quarter
big old
horse.
beast.
21 years old.
Whoa. What do you do with her?
Well, you know what? Basically, it was trail riding,
Nice.
but she's had some issues, so we haven't trail ridden for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to get her back into it, but it's a slow process.
What issues are they, mental or physical?
More physical. She's really tight through her whole body.
Uh-huh.
So she has Indiba treatments. I have an energy worker working with her. Chiropractic. I mean, we do the whole 9 yards. Um, and she's got some arthritis. So
Okay.
I think that's kind of her
That can
main
kind of
thing.
set off a little chain reaction.
Yeah.
Do you know where her arthritis is?
Basically it's her front left knee.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's kind of good news actually. Cool. Are you doing Journey Through the Horse with her?
No.
You should.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna find out because this horse would respond so good. So I'll be sending out emails and all that stuff on Journey Through the Horse.
Okay.
Because she runs tight,
Yeah.
same with my horse. Same with my horse. Body work is so important. You have to do it yourself. You have to do it because keeping a body worker on top of it, it's that you can't do it.
Yeah.
So Journey Through the Horse, doing that with her and finding out all her little spots where she holds tension that nobody knows about would be super, super fun.
She loves body work, and I
I bet
do
she
I
does.
do a lot of body work on her, and
Good.
she loves it. Gives me all kinds of releases all the
Oh, good.
time. I just wish that I knew how to kind of keep it
Yeah.
instead of like I work on it one day, she releases, she feels better, but then the next day or two that I come out, she's kind of back to square one again.
Okay, so that means you're not getting the main spot.
Okay.
That's why. Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're releasing secondary tension, which is
Okay.
great. That feels good, but you're not getting the primary area of tension.
Okay.
And that's what she needs. And so if you do Journey Through the Horse, we're gonna find it. We'll find
Okay.
it. We'll
Wonderful.
probably
Sounds
find
good.
more than one spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank
And
you,
and
Erin.
then you'll start noticing like, oh man, she's holding this better. So that's
Okay.
one thing I always tell people when I come to like if I were to come massage her, I would be like, we had fantastic results. This is awesome, da 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 da. But it's not going to tell me anything because what's going to tell me something is when I come back, what's left and what
Mhm.
came back. Because whatever came back that's what I or whatever is still gone, but is whatever was still there, that's what I need to work on, and that's probably the primary cause. And then the rest of
Okay.
it was just secondary.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Great. Thank you.
Phoebe. Okay. Oh, Beth. Beth, did I miss? Oh, yeah, I didn't get summer either. I skipped over a whole bunch. Okay. Giselle. Okay, good. Here we go. Giselle. Um, Okay, so we got uneven pectorals here, right? This one is lower than this one. The right one is higher. And then, Giselle, are you still on here? Hold on, she was. Giselle, yeah, you're on here. Go ahead and unmute if you can, Giselle. Is this a past injury over here?
Yeah, she came with that.
Okay,
She's
okay.
got jumpy front legs.
Oh, interesting. So that's
Yeah,
tension.
they like bounce back and forth
Okay.
constantly.
Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of tension on this right shoulder over here.
Yeah.
And some of that's going to be from the past injury, but what's cool is that if you can kind of stay on top of that and get whatever you're able to release and keep it
Mm-hmm.
away, it's going to improve that. Okay,
Okay.
how old is she?
25.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so she's just going to love it. So I'd probably start up here on her.
Yeah.
All
I
and then go,
mean,
and go ahead.
she's a well, she's just yeah, she's a complete wreck. She's the one that was telling you shifts her hind legs all the time, and she's got jumpy front legs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Her
and you can some of it's going to take longer to improve, but some of it'll go away pretty quick.
I've been
Okay.
working on her for years.
Mm-hmm. And does she prefer percussion or friction or
Um, she just likes um I just been trying mostly to do some fascia release on her because everything is just so like guitar like string like.
yeah.
But
Um,
I've
Fascia release
never
is awesome. I would kick it up a notch though.
I
So I
don't
would probably work on some percussion, maybe slapping or pounding wherever you can that's
yeah,
not.
I do that on her rump a bit.
Oh
She
yeah.
sometimes she'll tolerate a little bit, but she doesn't really love it. I
Right.
just
And that's
wondered,
okay.
she has like a tattoo on her either of her ass cheeks by her tail. I wondered if she was a PMU horse.
Oh.
And that's why she has so many issues because she had to stand for so long.
Oh, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But I think bringing relief to her is definitely doable, in a lot of areas. So I would probably, and you have to base all this off of what she says back to you, okay?
Hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes with her, I would do the work and then back off and give her a break. So
Yeah, I
maybe
do.
10 seconds of work, you
Hmm.
know. And because she's so big and she's a big horse, I would go percussion because wherever you can, because she's thick and you're gonna burn yourself out before you get the work done, probably.
She's actually very thin.
Is she? She looks
Yeah,
big.
she does look big. She's kind of a tall, lanky horse.
Oh, okay, because her chest looks pretty meaty. Looks
Yeah.
pretty meaty. So yeah, do some kind of slaps around here. You can actually do skin rolls on this to get this to loosen up. And
Okay.
then do some slaps underneath here, maybe some
Hmm.
friction back and forth, but give her breaks if she doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay? See what you
Okay.
can do and then send some after photos or like a quick video. I'd like to see what she says about stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah. Summer. So this photo was messing me up, Beth, because I feel like why is her stomach sticking out over here? Um, so I couldn't tell if it's the photo or the angle or what. Um, because there's stomach here and not over here. And then her neck looks like it's going off to the left. So that threw me off just a little bit. But what I would do here is I would get this to loosen up. Okay. Get that center line to loosen up. And then everything down the center here, because this definitely looks tight along the inside, especially this leg, right?
Yes.
So I would kind of work and I would get this to all loosen up right in here. That's pulled tight. And then if she's standing funky like this all the time, we got to work on something. Okay? 'Cause it doesn't look like her hind legs are lined up with her front, but again, it could just be the photo. So, just when you take a photo, make sure that the head is straight, like straight up and down, and that you're standing directly in front of her. It could just be a bad photo, and I'm like, we need to help this
Yeah,
horse. This might be the
yeah,
photo. I don't know. Okay.
yeah. I
But
kind of rushed through that one. Thank you.
oh yeah, no problem. I don't want to be like, we need to help this horse when it's like, no, just need a better photo. That's all. Okay. So, but I do kind of want to loosen this area up right here.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, yep. Let's see. We did look at big old Phoebe. Yep, Eva's, we looked at her. Prince got it. Okay. Jazz. Okay. Jazz looks tight here. And see that line? That's
Yes.
real deep. Now, Stephanie's horse had a line that was super deep too, and we got it to slightly improve, but it didn't improve a ton, so sometimes that's just how they are. But my eye draws to that as being a little too tight. Very equal here in the pecs, so that's nice. Equal, this is a big old muscle here on this, but some horses have that big muscle and some it's very thin. But I would see if you can get that to just loosen up a little bit and look a little fluffier, like blend in a little better. It kind of looks like it's sticking out. Okay.
I took another picture later in the day and I think it's a little bit lighter. So
Oh, okay.
it's a couple down from here.
Okay, good. We'll check it out in a second. And then I would like these V's to loosen up also. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could mean that this muscle is tight and then this muscle's tight, or it could mean that the fascia here is tight.
Okay.
Okay. So just some things like this right here. I'd like that to look smoother and flow together a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that this muscle, that's big, those are some big forelegs. That could be that that muscle is, tight and making it look like that, or it could be the fascia right here is tight. So you'll have to figure that out. Now, with this one, you could do leg range of motion down and back and see what that has to say, because that would expose this muscle here for being tight if that's what it is. If it's the fascia, it probably won't. It probably won't be a problem. Okay.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see what the leg range of motion does on that. Smoky. Oh yeah, here's Becky's horse. Okay, so this little horse, I asked her if it was a standard bred, but she's not sure. 21-year-old, worked on an Amish horse for a long time. So those horses work really hard, and I'm not going to get into it. A lot of them aren't treated well. Some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. And they have been worked very, very hard, very hard. Okay. So, I would love to do a full body on any horse that was an Amish horse. Okay. Because they're more of a tool to that group of people because they are literally working on a farm. Okay. This doesn't look too bad in my opinion. This looks nice and soft. This looks pretty equal, pretty soft, big old neck. I mean, that's why I was like, maybe it's not a standard bred. Feet seem to be going down pretty straight. Again, we have a little bit of that leg kind of cocking outwards, so I would check behind the elbow and then kind of reach up into that scapula and see if you can get that scapula to loosen up just a little bit. Okay, and see if that helps. And it's not too drastic, so it may or may not. But the chest looks really nice. Chest, shoulders look nice. Okay. 21-year-old horse, not bad. Working hard its whole life. Pretty good. Oh yeah, here's Rose. Okay. Yeah, so I think we got tight pecs on this one, right, guys? Okay. So it looks like pecs, but the stance is saying that it's up higher, but I think it's the pecs. I think these pectorals right in here, if you can pick that leg up, reach up, squeeze those pecs, see what you get. Or it's possibly the elbow, but I think it's in here somewhere. Okay. So I would try that. That's both of yours, Linda. So it'd be interesting to see the difference between the two. Okay. Good whiskers on that horse. Cute. Cheyenne Moon Rider. Look at these big old horses. So this looks pretty darn nice, doesn't it? Look at that square chest there. Boom, boom, straight up and down. Feet facing forward. Hinds are pretty matched. I would actually think the hinds might be a little bit tight. But all I would do is work on this area just a little bit and see if you can get that to smooth out a little bit, more like a pillow. Okay? That's a big old chest though. Nice looking horse. Okay. Oh, there's Wave. Jazz. We did, oh, this is the other one of Jazz. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, so that line is tight. Yeah. Yep. Yep, same. So I would work here, here, all this little armpit crack here, and then that sternum. And that might also be fascia, just like it's attached hard, okay? Where you can loosen that up. But yeah, this whole line, I want all this, whoops, I want all this to blend in better. But the
Okay.
stance is pretty darn good. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, there's another one of Becky's horse. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Nice looking chest on that horse. I'd be interested to know the breed, but the little Amish working horse. Oh, and then Champ. Linda has two lookalikes at her house. Yeah, that's pretty straight. That's pretty good coming out. I mean, that looks like a natural stance going down. How old is Champ, Linda? He's your new one, I know.
Yeah, he's 8 years old.
Oh, okay. All right. If he was young, I might think that that chest would fill out. It still might. Um, how, what was his history? Was he, is he broke or what?
He did lots of trail riding in Montana for his training. That was his primary training.
Okay. Yeah, his chest might not get wider then. It could. It could get a little bit wider. I would check. I would check. I'd be interested to see if these change at all, your horses. So kind of reach up in those armpits and see what they have to say. But he's going down nice and straight, so. And this looks really good up here, nice and soft.
Mhm.
Okay. Wendy. Oh yeah, this one was a really interesting photo. Look at this, you guys. Okay, so I love the cowlicks. That's super cute. This looks like an Arabian to me. Is Wendy on here? Wendy, if you are, unmute. Um, yeah, we have some tension here. Okay, and I'm gonna try to not allow the cowlicks to influence my ideas. But do you see this down here, how it's like there's a section there and then it kind of breaks into those muscles. There's a section there and then it breaks into these muscles. These are tight, okay? I don't really want to see these lines that much. I don't want to see them that much. So that's where I would start working. Do you see how this is tight right here? Okay. And this is tight here. Now, again, Arabians are finer, and I don't know for sure if this is an Arabian. It might not be, but it gives me Arabian vibes. Um, but this is kind of a finer leg, but this looks tight to me. So I bet if Wendy were to do the down and back range of motion, this horse would possibly have a hard time going to 90 degrees, like when you're picking the foot up to get the hoof pick because of this right here being tight. Okay. And then when you go to put the foot back, kind of underneath the belly, this is going to be too tight to do that. Okay. That's going to be too tight to do that. I also see a slight difference in, and I can't tell if the front feet are equal, but the angles are a little bit different on this. And I bet you that would be a pretty easy fix. Like there's a line right there that's telling me something. You got to be careful with the cowlicks because they'll mess you up a little bit when you're looking at them. But this side here looks a bit tighter on the pectoral, but then down here looks tighter on the lower leg. Okay. So that's something that I would want to look at with that horse. Hold on. I don't know when you said that. Oh, the sternum. No, I think there might be a sternum something going on. Yeah. So it doesn't look equal. Okay. Um, but I bet you could figure out what it is just by kind of looking around in this area. Get all this to loosen up. You can kind of see how uneven that is. Like it's higher here and lower here. Okay. And then we got this side's a little tighter down here. It's a little tighter up here. So leg range of motion would expose everything on this. And I think that going leg range of motion back at the 90 degrees, you're going to find this area is tight. So it would be interesting. It'd be interesting. Okay. Al Bentley, look at the size of this sucker. Look how big he is. This is a Black Forest horse. This is cool. So this is a big, big, big horse, you guys. He's short, but he's big. We got a little bit of difference on this side compared to this side, and this side looks more equal. Yeah, that's his mane. He's fantastic. This little horse, or this big little horse, goes to the old folks home with me and my horses, so he's a fan favorite, of course. Um, Sternum looks pretty straight, but this leg is kind of tilted inward more. Okay. So I'd want to check out the pectoral here on this leg. I worked on this horse recently. Nancy, are you on here? Yeah, Nancy. Unmute for a second. What did we find? I found a couple different things on him, but it didn't seem super obvious. What was it?
So his whole front right leg is really tight. His
Okay.
pec was really tight. His range of motion is really poor, and it kind of still is. I've
Okay.
been working at it, but he's still tight there, and he's a little bit limpy at the trot, but we went over to Lake Sawyer today and Vic rode him all over and he did great. So
Okay.
like the more he's ridden, like the longer like
Loosens it up.
he gets better. You know what I mean? Like from when we
Yeah.
started this morning, he was so much better at the end of the day. But he had that thing in his neck too, remember? But he's really loose in his neck now. So you got his
Okay,
neck
good.
fixed that day.
Okay. Yeah, because this looks tight here. Like
Yeah.
this section. And then see how the angle of this one is like shooting inward? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So, with this one again, you can pick this foot up, put your hand here, bring his knee out and wait until he relaxes. And you can
Okay.
also slide your hand up in here and squeeze this area.
Okay.
This is one with a big pork loin.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so just reach up there and don't be shy. I find that people have a tendency to be like, I can't feel it. I can't feel it. I'm like, reach your hand up there and go for it. Okay, what are they gonna do? They
Yeah.
don't get mad about it. They're fine. So kind of reach up there and see, get this section here loosened
Okay.
up.
I also was sticking my hand in his elbow this morning, and he was really tight in there.
Yeah. So
Like he
that
was,
all feeds in. That's why this
yeah.
foot is kind of facing outward. That's the
Okay.
elbow because it tweaks the leg like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this leg's super straight.
I'll keep working on that side.
This one's kind of tilted in and pointing out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Charlie. Okay. It's kind of a dark photo, but you guys can see all this, right? That's tight. And then that crease goes all the way up to the very top of that muscle. So that's pretty tight there. You want to loosen that up. And then I'd like to just see if I can get these lines to loosen up. So rub, slap, rub, slap. This is tight here and should be able to get loosened up. So I would do some friction right there on that. Find out why that's sunk in like that. That's probably fascia. Okay. And that's kind of all I can see. The legs look pretty darn straight though, so I would just see if I can get that to loosen up a little bit and look fluffier. Okay. I want this to loosen up though. That's where my eye is going to, and then it goes right to this big chest crack. Okay. But the legs look pretty darn nice. Looks like a good size horse. Okay. Oh yeah, here's Becky again. Wow, that's looking pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm not mad. You can see this foot kind of veers off a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe elbow on this side. Okay. All right, let's see what I got. Was that it? Oh my gosh, you guys, that was a lot. Did everybody get everything? That was a lot. Any questions? Any questions off of, you can either use your little hand raisy thing down here under the react button. You can raise your hand like that, or you can unmute. Any questions? So for homework, I want you to go try some of that stuff. And listen, you can try it on any horse. It doesn't need to be you don't need to not do some of the suggestions just because I didn't say it about your horse. You can do everything I said. You're not gonna cause any problems. Okay? So don't feel like you need to worry about it. Yeah, Kristen.
I had a quick question. Would you touch back on when you were talking about when horses like cross their legs? What Pac-Man does that all the time, and I've just thought it's just what he did, but that's because
Yeah.
he's tight in his pecs, right?
Well, sometimes it's a nervous habit. Is that what it is with your horse?
No, no, he
It's
does.
not.
No, he does it in. I mean, standing at the trailer, he'll do it out in the pasture. I mean, he does it. He just crosses his legs. He just does it. Like
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know what it is, and I've just now been thinking maybe it's because he's tight somewhere, and
Well,
so
what's
yeah.
going to be cool is that now you have a bunch of stuff to experiment with.
Okay.
Okay. Because I
Mhm,
don't know if it's because he's tight. I don't know. Sometimes they just do weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
I don't know if any of you guys, Chester, when he eats grain, and I've seen it before with other horses, so I didn't think too much of it. But his little front legs kind of do this like little jiggle wiggle thing. They don't come off the ground. I know that some like paw at their grain or whatever, but his do this like funny little twitch thing. And I've seen other horses do it, so I didn't think too much of it. But it's like, what are you doing that for? So that's something I have going on in my head all the time. So yeah, it could just be that he is doing weird stuff because they want to do weird stuff. But what I would do is experiment with him and maybe do like one, check the range of motion on the legs, and then yeah, you're welcome, Nancy. And then see if you notice a difference. So a lot of times I'll try to do just like one section at a time on a horse if I'm trying to figure something out so that you're not, you know how when there's a problem, people are like, do this, 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 and this. And you're like, cool, it got fixed. I don't know what fixed it though. It was all 10 of those things. That's why when I'm trying to figure something out about a horse, I only do one thing at a time. And I tell the owners that I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out. So I'm going to do these two things or this one thing. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to do something else. And that's really hard for owners because they want you to throw everything at them to fix them. But I want to know what the problem is because if I don't know what the problem is, I'm not going to be able to, we can't find a solution. So just because you fixed it once, but you don't know why you fixed it, so that becomes a whole other problem. So yeah, try like one or two things at a time and see if you notice a difference. And if you don't, just have it locked in that back there and be like, always have your eyes open to other horses that do it, and then try to kind of figure it out as you go. It's a fun little mystery. All right, Linda, what you got?
Hey, so two things really quick. One is I have three horses. The two that had the stance where you told me I needed to work on their elbows, I
Yeah.
checked everybody's elbows today. Champ's got lots of room. Those other two characters, not so much. So I'm glad
Oh,
I checked
interesting.
all of them so I could compare. And if I do follow up, should we post our follow up under our pictures, like as a
Oh, yeah.
reply? I think
Yeah.
I'd love to see what other people come up with if
Yeah.
they have a before and after picture under the
That's
same post.
great idea. Just make
Yeah,
sure they're standing the same as much as you can.
right, right.
Makes a big
Anyway,
difference.
thank you so much. Super
Yeah, so
interesting.
cool. Awesome. Thanks, Linda. What you got, Steph?
So Daisy the pony,
Yes.
remember, so a year and a half ago, I had the tumor. She has a mast cell, and then I noticed there's another one. So when she kind of toes out too, and I was massaging on her, and I did find when I was kind of like pulling the muscles between the sternum apart, I did find like I felt like a grape, but I
Yeah.
was afraid to squeeze it. Do you think I should just monitor it? Because I didn't know if it's a tumor.
Well, yeah, when a situation like that, ooh, if I could feel it, I could tell you.
I know. And so just the update on where it is. I've been to two vets. The second one where the tumor is located, it's at a really touchy junction where the head and the shoulder meet.
Okay.
And
Head and the shoulder. That's a messed up pony. Where's the head and the shoulder meeting?
I mean, just
The
where the
neck and the
head,
shoulder?
but where all those muscles come in, and both
Okay.
vets are just really hesitant to operate.
Yeah.
So, she's not in pain, and I think, I don't want to just keep cutting her.
No.
You know,
I
I
agree. It gets to
she's
that point.
happy. She's
So
happy.
is
But
the grape thing that you felt, is that up in that transverse pectoral?
it's up, yes, in between the two front
In
legs.
the
Yes,
in the
yeah.
muscles?
That's where I felt that. But I've never, maybe I haven't dug that deep, but I did feel
Mm-hmm.
it. So, I mean, I guess I'll just keep massaging around it so that if it is a tumor, it's not pulling tissue and making it tight, I guess. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
was
a tumor
hesitant to
would feel
squeeze.
different.
Well, and the one up top, it's very, it doesn't move around as much, the second one, because of where it's stuck and it's
Yeah.
really hard. So,
Okay, yeah, that I feel like the tumor is going to be harder. The grape is going to be softer, and if you did apply pressure, it should give.
okay, then maybe this is another tumor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I get home, I'll have to feel it and really try to describe it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, really hard, really hard. And when I pushed on it,
Oh,
I'll
if it's
try to,
hard, if it's like hard, it's
it's
not.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
because the grape is literally like the consistency of a grape. Like you
Okay.
can crush it pretty easily. You can squeeze it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
easily. If
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
knot.
When I could feel it when I kind of pinched it a little bit without putting a lot of pressure. It seemed real dense. Like
Oh no.
I was not going to be able to pinch it and squeeze it.
Okay, got it. Nope, that you might be looking at another one,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah. Thanks for sharing those, Stephanie. We all need to learn from this stuff, right? All right, anything else, guys? You have your homework. You know what to do. No, divide and conquer, I think. It's the deal. If you have any questions this week as you're going forward, I want you to message me. You guys are really good at that, so I appreciate it.
I get a
Okay, and then
week
we'll
with
post.
my daughter, Erin, and I get to go down to the show barn. And one of my friend, he bought a horse from Taylor Sheridan.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to work on Bentley and I get to work on Midas. And so I'm kind of excited to work on some really fancy
Heck yeah,
horses,
man.
just to have fun.
Yeah,
And a
you're gonna
heated
get
barn.
famous. You're gonna
And
get
a
famous
heated
in that
barn.
area. All right, post your pictures like Linda said under the before and afters, okay? And if you have any questions, let me know. All right, thanks guys. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you,
Talk to you
Erin.
soon.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Mary.